Today, Tony and I are going to be comparing all of the latest generation DJI drones. We have the Inspire 2 here, the Phantom and the Mavic, and I'd say that this Pro Inspire 2 is to these two drones what maybe a professional DSLR is to an entry-level camera or even a cell phone camera. Now, if you plan on flying drones professionally, I think by the end of this review, you're going to want the Inspire 2. It's got interchangeable lenses, it's more sturdy, it's just an overall better build. If you're an enthusiast or just want a drone for fun, I think that you're gonna find that the Mavic or the Phantom 4 is more than enough drone for you. So it's really rainy and windy outside, so Tony and I are gonna be completely reckless and fly these drones inside of our house to replicate like a crane or a dolly, something that you might see in film. But first, I wanna thank our sponsor Squarespace for making this review possible. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com/Tony and enter the offer code PORTFOLIO to get 10% off your first purchase. It's a beautiful day for a PB&J. Hello? This is his wife. What do you mean he used spot color?
This was my first time doing cinematic indoor work, and I clearly need a lot more practice. That was really hard, especially in fairly tight spaces. I actually found the Phantom to be way easier to fly. It pushed less wind around, which means it was creating less like turbulence for itself, and it was smaller, which meant I could fit in smaller spaces and I had more flexibility. But the Inspire here has a killer feature, which is that you can hook up separate controllers for the pilot and the cameraman. So one of the biggest challenges I had was physically watching the drone fly and make sure I wasn't crashing into walls or ceilings. And so I had to keep watching the drone and I couldn't watch the screen to see what was going on. So I kept losing Chelsea out of the frame. Having a separate cameraman and this separate camera that can pivot completely separately from the rest of the drone would have meant us getting a much better shot. And so for things like that, I definitely think the Inspire is a must.
If you get your props in the shot is ruined. And that is a constant problem with the Mavic, but even especially the entire Phantom lineup. And if you decide to tilt the camera upwards, that just guarantees the props are gonna be in the shot. I couldn't get the props in the shot under any circumstances with the Inspire.
One nice thing about the Inspire is not only can I tilt up without getting props in the frame, look completely clean, but I can pan all the way down and actually see behind me a little bit. It just gives more flexibility for catching one long contiguous shot.
The retracting landing gear isn't just for show. That moves the props and landing gear out of the way. The camera making it just about impossible to get your props in a shot.
With the Phantom, I'm limited to like splitting the horizon right in the middle of the frame. So for things like sunsets where you want to show the sky, that's a really important feature. First thing I want to do is race this thing, because speed really does count, not just for getting somewhere fast, but also for fighting wind. Like today we have maybe 25-mile-an-hour winds. And with some of these smaller drones, especially that Mavic, it can be tough to get it back upwind. If you get downwind, it's easy to lose a drone. So some extra power really helps.
As expected, the Mavic was the slowest, followed by the Phantom 4 Pro. The Inspire 2 won by a long shot because of its incredible acceleration, which DJI says is 0 to 50 miles an hour in 5 seconds. Its top speed actually isn't that impressive. It seems to be artificially limited to 52 miles an hour, even flying downwind. The Phantom 4 Pro actually got to 60 miles an hour flying downwind, but the Inspire was definitely fastest flying upwind, which is good for getting it back home.
So I'm pretty disappointed because the Mavic has always been my favorite, but this is our second broken one for the same reason, and that's that the gimbal has broken. We've been through all the troubleshooting steps. The first one we sent away, they replaced the entire drone because they couldn't fix the problem, and it took about a month to get it back, so we'll be sending this one away to be fixed too. It's just really disappointing because it's a fun drone to use, but it's breaking on us. That's not good.
My favorite thing about the Inspire is it has interchangeable cameras, and one of the cameras, the Zenmuse X5S, has interchangeable lenses. And that's awesome because, especially with drones, you get up in the air and you have to do your scouting like from the air. You can't always anticipate what focal length you're gonna need. So being able to put a zoom lens on, they have one power zoom lens you can put on it. It just adds so much versatility. I just wish you could had a wider variety of supported lenses. It takes micro Four Thirds lenses, but not all of them, just like kind of a very short list, but there are good lenses on that list. The Inspire 2 has dual batteries in case one of them fails, it can keep flying. This also means that they're small enough kilowatt hours that you can take them on an airplane. They're just under that limit. And they're heated. For cold days like today, it should let you get some extra battery life.
We generally got 20 or 25 minutes out of the Inspire battery, so it didn't seem noticeably longer than the Phantom, but a pair of extra batteries for the Inspire will cost you $340. You'll definitely need a couple of pairs of batteries if you want to be sure you can get a shot. Squarespace websites are easy to set up and beautiful, and they show off both the photos and the videos that you can create. If you're not a techie, they make it very easy to change templates and choose from many, many different gorgeous designs that work on both desktop and mobile platforms. If you are a techie, don't worry, you can get in deep, modify CSS, change colors, just about anything else you want. The detailed analytics available on both desktop and mobile platforms allow you to see in detail exactly who is visiting your website and how long they're spending there. That's a great way to try to improve the functionality of your website and reach more people. Check out our sponsor, Squarespace. Visit squarespace.com/Tony and get a 14-day free trial. No credit card required. That's plenty of time to set up your own website, just like I did. If you decide you like it, use the coupon code PORTFOLIO to get 10% off. Thanks for sponsoring us, Squarespace.
I do this dumb thing because if I put my cable in here, it will push the phone out. So I always hold it against my face and then snap it in. I can zoom, which for real estate photography can be a lifesaver because you can't always fly where you want to. Sometimes you have to maintain some distance so you're not flying over people or a highway. So that can just make the difference between getting the shot or not.
I can't zoom?
You can't zoom.
This is bullshit.
The 14 to 42 zoom lens we used on the Inspire's Zenmuse X5S is versatile, but it's not nearly as sharp as the lens built into either the Phantom 4 Pro or the Mavic Pro. However, you can and should choose sharper prime lenses. When you need a longer lens because it might be dangerous to fly closer to your subject, optically zooming with the Inspire's X5S captured far more detail than cropping with the Phantom 4 Pro. Get the X5S zooms for times when you can't plan your focal length before takeoff, but whenever possible, use the sharper prime lenses on your X5S. The Inspire's camera rotates freely, allowing you to film moving subjects from the side while flying forward. When using dual controllers, the pilot can use forward obstacle avoidance and the dedicated forward-facing camera for navigation. The cameraman can separately control all aspects of the camera while viewing the video feed in real time. I suffered from information overload trying to be both the pilot and the cameraman. The Inspire's dual operator setup is a must-have for serious productions, but it does require spending $550 on a second controller. The Mavic Pro's small size makes it the least stable in these 20-mile-an-hour winds, plus the gimbal is flaking out. The Phantom 4 Pro is significantly more stable than the Mavic. The Inspire 2 was much more stable, and it's not exactly a tripod in the air, but it's about the closest you can get. When shooting raw stills, the bigger sensor of the X5S showed better dynamic range than the Phantom 4 Pro. However, you can always use bracketing on the Phantom 4 Pro to increase the dynamic range, as I teach in Chapter 11 of Stunning Digital Photography. For video, the X5S RAW video shows almost 12 stops of dynamic range. Neither the Mavic nor the Phantom 4 Pro can compete with that.
So our conclusion is this: if you want to travel with your drone all of the time and having the best image quality is not the most important thing to you, we love the Mavic Pro. If you want better image quality and something a little more reliable, it's more cumbersome to travel with, but we think that the Phantom would be best for you. And if you don't want any risk of having your props in your shot, if you want the best image quality you can get with a drone, interchangeable lenses, a great construction, you've got carbon fiber on this thing, you're gonna want the Inspire Pro. I hope this video helped you choose the drone that's right for you. If you want more videos like these, subscribe to our channel, give this video a like, comment down below if you've had different results, and thanks.
Thank you to our sponsor, Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com/Tony. Get a 14-day free trial for any type of website, pretty much. Get a 14-day free trial, no credit card required. Use the coupon code PORTFOLIO after you're done. Thanks for sponsoring us, Squarespace.